Hi, folks. We're doing S.23. Hopefully this noise in the background won't bother you too much. They turned on the heater today, so it's getting a little bit crazy in here. Anyway, we're doing point slope form, write an equation, and I'm going to go through a couple of different methods to do this. Pull it up here. And I'm going to start with the more intuitive method as far as I'm concerned. If you look back at S.22, I go through that. Oh, they're going to kind of force you to do it this way. All right. Slope with a line of slope 5. So basically, they just want you to put the slope in. So they're actually going to kind of guide you through it. So the slope goes here. And what we're doing is we're subtracting the x values and the y value so that we zero it out. So x is x minus 6 and y is y minus 7. One of the things this comes from is that we know that the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus, God, I can't write today, x1. And what they did was they multiplied both sides by the x2 minus x1 and changed the sides. So we've got m times x minus x1 is equal to y minus y1. And what they did was they said, okay, if we know a slope and we know a 1 point, then we can write the equation in what we call point slope form. And it looks just like this. They took y minus that first y, which was the 7, and then they set it equal to the slope, m, which is 5, times x minus the 6, which is the first x value. So that's all they're doing. They're just trying to get you to substitute it in. And the next one, we're just going to substitute it in again. So we want y minus 4, want the 4 to go in there for the y, and the x is negative 9. Notice that we would write this as x plus 9, but they want to make sure that it's perfectly clear why it's x plus 9, okay? And the slope is negative 1/9. Oh, they do have the fraction in there. So it's a negative 1 over 9. I'm not sure if they would count it wrong if you put it in with the sideways slash or not, but it's always better to use the fraction if you've got it. Okay, looks good. Come on, submit. Okay, should I see if it'll work with the 1/9? I don't know. I don't want to take a chance. So we're going to put in the y value in here. So this is going to be the negative 8. So remember, we're just taking y minus the y value, negative 8, and there it is. And there it is. That's the y value. The x value is positive 8, and it goes in here, 8. Dang it. Okay, get in there, 8. And the slope is 1/9. Let's see if it'll take it. It'll probably work. Because it's in parentheses, I don't think it'll be a problem. Yeah, it liked it okay. So it looks like we're fine with the fraction and with the weird division line. All right, so now they're going to force us to write it ourselves. So remember, we've got y minus 6 is equal to the slope, negative 7, times the x minus 8. And if you did the other S.22, you know that if we zero this out, that's going to be a solution. That 8/6 is going to be a solution. So we're going to type it in. We're going to put the y minus 6. And normally I would say it's a good idea to put it in parentheses, but I'm not going to in this case. Negative 7, but I do have to put the parentheses around the x minus 8. Oh, and I probably have to space it out because otherwise it'll think I'm multiplying x times 8. if you write this without the, if you don't put the space in, then they think you're multiplying x times -8, which looks good. Okay, so now we're looking at y minus 2. Sorry, I don't want to. So y minus 2 is equal to, don't forget to spread it out, 1/3. I'm kind of writing it half sideways because it's the way I'm going to write it in there. Now remember, that's going to be x plus 4. Now, one of the things it says, proper fractions and improper fractions, simplify all fractions if there are any. And there aren't any in this case. So we have y space minus 2. Don't forget to space that out. Equals, I don't think you have to space the equal sign. And I think we can do the fraction sideways, even though, because we've got the parentheses, x plus 4. That looks probably good. Come on. Looks okay. Okay, shall we just write it? Let's see if we can just write it. We've got y space minus the 8, that's the y minus 8, equals, and we've got a -5 slope, and inside the parentheses we have x minus 1. So it's x space minus 1. I'm pretty sure you got to put the spaces in for the subtractions. Okay, we have, this time, notice that both of these are negative. That means that we've got y plus 3. Do you see the -3 is, if y equals -3, it'll make this 0. And then we have the 1/5, and then we've got the x plus 4. And see the x equals -4, which is right up here. We'll make this side 0. So we can see that that is a solution, and we know that it has a slope of 1/5. So we know we're right. So we put it in. The nice thing is we don't have to worry about the spaces this time. So we've got, I'm just going to turn this off for a second. We've got y plus 3 equals 1/5 parentheses x plus 4. Be a little careful of putting the parentheses around there, because otherwise, normally you'd have to put the parentheses around that sideways fraction, excuse me. There we go. All right, looks like we've got a y plus 8. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in, y plus 8 equals, and we've got a slope of -1/8. So I'm going to put the -1/8 parentheses, and then we've got an x minus 2. And it's really easy to forget to spread out that x minus 2. Don't forget to do that. I'm not sure if it'll count it wrong, but it always has in the past. So probably a good habit to get into. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, I like it. So this time they want you to find the slope yourself. So if you're going to find the slope, remember that y1 minus y2. And the way I like to do it is just draw the arrow. I'm going to get my slope, I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But I don't have to do all that. I can just do 9 minus 3 over. Now, the reason I draw my arrow is because I know I have to subtract in the same direction. This is really easy to make a mistake on if you don't draw the arrows. I guarantee you will do 9 minus 3, and then you'll grab the 7 minus 6 and put it in the denominator. It's actually 6 minus 7, which gives you +6 over -1, and that gives you a -6 slope. So be careful. It's really easy to make a mistake. So now I'm going to substitute it in. We've got, oh, by the way, you can choose either point. I don't think it matters which point you choose. So I'm going to use this first one. I have y minus 3. Don't forget the spaces, equals. We've got -6 for our slope. And then we've got x minus 7 if I use the first point. Now, I could have used the second point just as easily. Don't forget the spaces. 7. Looks good. Okay, I've got, I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to do y plus 9. Notice I don't have to space it if I don't have a subtraction, equals, and it's negative 1/8, parentheses, and we've got an x minus 9. X, but this time we do have to space it. 10, sorry, 10. And, oh, I didn't space it. I think as long as you get one space on one side, it doesn't matter, but there it is. It's always better to space it out. Let's see what we got this time. We've got I don't need to write anything. We've got a y minus 1, don't forget the space, equals, and I've got a 3 for my slope, and I've got an x plus 9 inside the parentheses. All right, now we have a pair of points. So this time we're going to have to find our slope. And I'm just going to simplify it a little bit quicker this time. So we've got, oh, sorry, I meant to write m. I don't want to write it all out. M is equal to 2 minus 1. Now, normally I wouldn't write this down. I'm just writing it for you. 6 minus 9. And that's going to be 1 over negative 3, which is negative 1/3. And hopefully you can see why people make mistakes on those. It's really easy to get those subtractions backwards. It doesn't matter if you go the other direction, you just have to make sure the arrows are going in the same direction. If you did it the other way, you would have gotten negative 1 over positive 3. And then I have to choose a point. It doesn't matter which point you pick, but pick one. You can't mix and match your x's and y's, okay, guys? So looks like we're almost done. We've got a y minus 2, and don't forget to put the spaces in. I know it's kind of a pain. That's just a little glitch in IXL. 1 over 3, 1 negative 1/3, and then we've got an x minus 6. Got to remember which one I'm looking at. See, I almost made a mistake. It's really easy to make a mistake if you don't circle them, if you don't put the arrows. It just takes a second to do it. So make sure you put those in, okay? Now, looks like it's all, everything we need is there. And it's all addition, so that makes it easy. Y plus 1 is equal to 10 over 7, parentheses, and we've got an x plus 2, don't we? And we are done. So nice. How about this one? This time, again, we're going to need to find our slope. Now, I don't actually write the subtractions out. I just do 8 minus 3 in my head, which is 5. And then I do 8 minus 9 in my head, which is negative 1. And I get negative 5 for my slope. It's just do a little practice. You'll be surprised at how much that helps. And I'm definitely going with the 8/8. That way I don't even have to worry about it. Although, that one would keep you from making a mistake, but with the x's and the y's. Anyway, I'm using that y, and I've got a y minus 8. Don't forget the spaces. Y space minus 8, of course. And it's equal to negative 5. And we've got an x, and we have to space it out with the minus 8. And we're done. If you can't see it, I do have the negative on the 5 there. There it is. And we're getting there. All right, pretty straightforward. We've got a y plus 7. We'll zero out that negative 7. And then we got a negative 9 over 10. And we have parentheses, and then we've got an x plus 1 in there. There we go. This one, we've got a y minus 9. The only thing I got to remember is that darn spaces equals. Looks like we've got a slope of 1/6 and an x minus 6 inside the parentheses. X minus minus 6 inside the parentheses. Looks good. Okay, we need a slope. I am going to go ahead and just write my arrows. That's going to give me positive 3. And maybe you need to see it. I'll write it out. M is equal to negative 4 minus negative 7. Is that negative 7? Negative 7. That's where that 3 comes from. And then I'm going to take the 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. And I get negative 3 over 2. There's my slope. Get that negative a little bigger. And I'm going to choose that point right there. So I've got y plus 7 equals negative 3 over 2. And I need to space out my x minus 4. X space minus 4. And I'm just going to erase it and clean it up a little bit so you can see it. And there you go. All right. I'm not going to do that again. Shall we go the other way? Let's go the other way just to get, and hopefully you can see why I'm going to choose to go the other way. Negative 1 minus negative 5 is positive 4, isn't it? The slope is going to be 4, and then this one is going to be 9 plus 5, which is 14. But you have to reduce your slope. Very important that you reduce it. If you had gone the other way, you would have gotten negative 4 over negative 14, and you would have had to also reduce your negatives. But anyway, it's 2 over 7, and there's a point for me. So let's put it in. I'm going to get rid of this for now. So we've got a y plus 1, and it's equal to 2 over 7. I almost put in the 4 over 14 parentheses, and then I've got a x minus 9. Don't forget the space to space out your subtraction. Okay, we've got a slope and a point, so we're supposed to put it in. We've got a y minus 5, got to space it out, equals negative 5. And we've got an x minus 8. We need to space that one out as well. And that's it. We're done. Getting there. 3 more or so, maybe 4. Probably 3 since I didn't make any errors. It's better if you don't make any mistakes because then they don't feel like they have to check every time. Don't forget the space, minus space 3. I'm just subtracting a y equals negative 5 over 6 and parentheses, and it looks like I've got an x plus 8. Don't need to put the spaces in that one. And this one, we're going to do the slope. I'm just going to write it. The slope is 6 minus 1, which is 5, and 6 minus 2, which is 4. 5 over 4. So, and I'm going to do this point right there. Let's go with y space minus 1 equals 5 over 4, and parentheses x space minus 2. Oh, almost forgot the space. There we go. Oh, 2. There we go. We can see that 2, 1 will be a solution and that the slope is 5 over 4. And sure enough, it is 5 over 4. All right, shall we go to the right so that we get positive numbers, or should we go to the left? You know what? I'm just going to choose the wrong way. Not the wrong way. I just want to show you that it doesn't matter. I'm going to do negative 9 minus 3, which is negative 12, over negative 9 plus 5, which is negative 4. And that's going to be positive 3. If I had gone the other way, I would get 12 over positive 4, which would also be 3. So this is my slope. And I'm going to use this point. Just in case somebody's skipping ahead, I don't want them to give them the wrong impression. So we've got y minus 3 equals 3 parentheses, and looks like we've got an x plus 5 in there. I'm running out of time, so I gotta hurry up. It looks good. right? Negative 5, 3 with a slope of 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we've got a line with slope of 1, 6 through 10, 7. So we just put in our point, y space minus 10 equals 1 over 6, 1 over 6, parentheses. And looks like we've got an x minus 7. Don't forget to space it. And it looks good. Okay, we need a slope. The slope is 4 minus 1, which is 3, over negative 2 minus 4, which is 2. Be careful. Just 3 over 2. If you went the other way, you would have gotten negative 3 over negative 2. And I'm going to do this point right there. So we have y minus 1. Oh, almost forgot my space. Equals 3 over 2. And I've got an x plus 4. It looks like negative 4, 1 is one of my solutions, and it has a 3 over 2 for the slope. Man, they really want you to work hard on this one, don't they? Well, they want to make sure that you practice it. So it looks like we have a y minus 1, space, don't forget the space, 3 over 8. And we got an x minus 5 with spaces too. And 5, 1 is a solution with a 3/8. I just don't want to make a mistake this far into it. Looks like we got 3 more. They're doing one at a time. All right, we do the slope. The slope is 7 minus 4. Remember early in this, hopefully some of you that watched my earlier videos, I told you that a really good thing is to get really good at your integer work. And that is 3 plus 3, which is 6. And that is 1/2 when you reduce it. Very important that you reduce. And I'm going to use that point. So I've got a y spaced out with minus 4 equals 1/2. And it looks like I got an x plus 3 inside the parentheses. And the way I check my work is I say, okay, negative 3 will zero out this side, positive 4 will zero out the other side, and I've got a 1/2 slope, which is correct. And maybe 2 more. All right, I've got a slope. Doesn't matter which direction you go, you're going to get a negative either way. So I'm going to write slope is equal to 1 minus 4, which is negative 3, and 10 minus 2, which is 8. And we're almost done. I'm going to use this one. And we have a y minus 4 equals negative 3 over 8 parentheses. And it looks like I've got an x minus 2, but don't forget to space it. Now, the last thing I do is I check my work. 2 zeros out this side, and a 4 zeros out the left side, and my negative 3/8 is correct. And I might have one more. Yes, they're going to make me do all 10 to get my 100. All right, we have pretty easy one though. I'm just going to put it in. So I've got a y minus 3 equals, looks like we have a negative 1/10. And we have a y minus x minus 7 inside the parentheses. Don't forget the spaces. And do your check, do your final check. 7 makes that side 0. A 3 makes the other side 0. And we have a negative 1/10 slope. And I hope you guys get it all the way to 100. And I'll see you back again. Bye, everybody.